I'm Annalisa Kronman, a Christian Science practitioner from California, and I'm presently a board member on the Principle Foundation. I love to trace concepts back to their biblical roots. And an idea that occurred to me one day about Christian Science nursing was Jesus' example when he walked on the water. As you recall from the New Testament, he was walking on the water and the disciples were terrified. And Peter said, "Can I come?" And Jesus said, "Come along." So he did. But as he was walking, he got very fearful, seeing those waves and perhaps fearful of his own audacity. And so he began to sink. So at that point, Jesus did something extremely practical. He extended his hand to Peter and pulled him up. And then they walked back to the boat. To me, that's the epitome of what Christian Science nursing is. That's the example that Jesus gave us. What does a Christian Science nurse do? Mrs. Eddy, in the church manual, establishes the answer to that question, and it goes like this. It's on page 49 in the chapter Discipline, which pertains to all members, actually. Christian Science nurse. A member of the Mother Church who represents himself or herself as a Christian Science nurse shall be one who has a demonstrable knowledge of Christian Science practice, who thoroughly understands the practical wisdom necessary in a sick room, and who can take proper care of the sick. A Christian Science nurse, then, first is a member of the Mother Church. And there are three main important things that are mentioned in this manual bylaw. And the first is a demonstrable knowledge of Christian Science practice. The second is they need to understand the practical wisdom necessary in a sick room. And that means they need to have discernment. They need to have good judgment. The third requirement is the ability to take proper care of the sick. So going back to Jesus' example with Peter walking on the water, he had a demonstrable knowledge of Christian Science practice, of the law of God. He wasn't afraid of the sea or the wind or the conditions. He had discernment. He was able to see what steps were necessary. He had that wisdom. And third, he took proper care. He extended his hand to Peter. So he gave the example of what was needed for Christian Science nursing. A Christian Science nurse has specific training to help them do what they need to do. It can be as simple as helping someone walk, with bathing or feeding, but it could be as all-inclusive as bed care. Basically, it's a practice of the golden rule. Whatever you would appreciate having done to you if you had a need, that is what a nurse will do to help you. It's both a profession and a sacred ministry.